New Zealand has fundamentally changed. If you went out to farmers before the reforms of '84 and said, would you do away with subsidies and exports incentives? Most of them would say, hell no. If you asked them now, they would say, why would we want to have subsidies? Because the beauty of our current system of no subsidies is if there's a world change in thinking or the marketplace or something happens overseas, New Zealanders change overnight. So we are adaptable. And why would you want to go back to a system that just protects old, dying industries?
As Roger's ocean-based enterprises began to thrive, he and his wife, Nikki, were able to fulfill the dream they had started out with, to own their own farm.
We wanted to buy a farm on the coastline that had abalone farming potential and had a native bush on it and hill country to keep me fit since I wasn't diving anymore. I have a very supportive wife. She does roll her eyes when I try and get into a new business, but she's very heavily involved in what we're doing. And she does a lot of the stock work on the farm now, and I joke with people that I'm now a farmer's husband.
If you took a static snapshot the day after the reform, yes, there would be people displaced, of course, if you just froze it in time. But the world's not frozen in time. There's a dynamic. What does it unleash by way of the human spirit, the opportunity, the new economic confidence?
The Douglas and Richardson years resulted in a massive reorganization of the government. Civil service reforms streamlined productivity. Many industries were taken out of government hands and reorganized as for-profit companies, including the railway, airline, telecom, and banking.
It's about getting rid of privileges. It's about empowering the normal people. It's about sweeping away all of the special favors for the powerful.
Most of the big companies had lobbyists who'd lobby the government to extend to them this privilege or some other privilege. 3 years after we were a government, most of these companies no longer had lobbyists. They'd saved the money.
The life of the lobbyist, it's a terrible venal breeding ground. So you disintermediate the lobbyist. You don't give them a reason to face the government.
And not blinking is really important, because if you blink, then all the lobbyists will come back to you and try to get you to change your mind.
Reform is not a one-night stand. It is, move New Zealand unambiguously into a much more competitive position. We're one of the most open, free countries in the world.